What is up, y'all? We are back for UFC Vegas 99, Mike versus Nick, and we're about to do a little quick breakdown of this card this weekend, early week breakdown, and then we'll head into some more videos next week. How you doing today, brother?
I'm good, Big Mike. How are you?
I'm just dandy. I'm all right. We gonna get after it.
Nah, fuck that. We have a second. I need to go share this on social medias. Let's talk about this. Let's talk about why we're not in the greatest moods right now. So you had about over $250 riding to make over $4,000 on a Breece Hall touchdown. I know it's a combat sports page. We'll be quick about it. On a Monday Night Football, Breece Hall touchdown. For people that don't know, Breece Hall is a running back for the New York Jets, the New York Football Jets. That's American football. I had $100 live bet on the fucking Jets at plus 260. Subsequently, a Breece Hall touchdown would have fucking helped me, seeming that the Jets lost by 3. And subsequently, the Jets money line probably would have helped you if the Breece Hall would have scored the fucking ball. So, all in all, fuck the Jets.
Hate them.
Go share this to my Instagram so we can get some people here on our live with you. Hope everyone is well. Quite frankly, if you guys are here, give us some comments, some likes, some shares. Let us know what you guys are thinking. We are live right now. More importantly, we hopefully are going to give you some banger picks. I have faith that we will today. With that being said, what card are we talking about, Mike? Give them a little bit of love and let us know.
We are talking about UFC Vegas 99, Anthony Hernandez versus Michel Pereira. The main card of this fight is actually stacked. I think this is an amazing main card. The prelims, the last 2 prelim fights are fire. There's 3 WMMA fights in the middle of the prelims, which isn't the most exciting thing for the fans to be watching. But at the same time, I'm always positive about it. They're going to be fucking bangers. They're going to be absolute scraps, bloodbath, wars for these violent ladies. I'm just kidding. I always try to be positive. I was looking at the card earlier, and I'm just like, oh, man, we really got 3 WMMA fights right off bat, which is actually kind of crazy. But at the end of the day, it is what it is. The main card definitely makes up for it. So I'm pretty excited to talk about the main card. And I'm also sharing this on Insta and Twitter.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest with you. I think the main card is great, and as you guys are gonna see from my picks and predictions, I think the undercard is asinine to say the least. So, if you guys hear any weird noises, I'm sorry. My dog's in the room with me right now. That's my dog right there. It's my boy Inouye, being a whole asshole. Trying to go share this to Instagram so then we can jump on and I give you guys all my attention just like last week. So give me a quick moment, y'all. I'm so sorry about this.
I'm in here too. Let's get it. But yeah, while you're starting off, we got the first fight of the night. Robelis de Spain and Austin Lane, baby. And as we know, Robelis de Spain, I don't like to use the term fraud check too much, but he was fighting Waldo Cortez Acosta, who is good. I think Waldo is actually pretty good, even though he's egotistical, he's arrogant. He doesn't do enough sometimes, especially against Andrei Arlovsky, and he was very cocky in that fight. But Robelis de Spain got wrestle fucked by a boxer and Waldo Cortez. Yeah, get him out early, baby. And Austin Lane is chinny. He all 5 losses by knockout, I'm pretty sure. And Robelis de Spain should win by knockout. This is a get right spot for him, but I could see him getting football tackled and held down. You know, I don't know.
No fucking chance here. I mean, Austin Lane, you said it right, football tackle, but hopefully he has a little bit of get right sense of his loss against Waldo Cortez. I don't think Waldo Cortez is as horrible as you think either. It's funny, as I've said this on the last time we talked about him, he is the worst heavyweight on the roster. All of his wins are against legit cans or people that are truly fraud, but he squeaks by wins. And if I'm not mistaken, he only has 1 UFC loss. So he's earning a spot time and time again. So Robelis de Spain, they gave him a spot they thought it was going to win. And honestly, Taekwondo, what a shitty fucking base for MMA. I don't give a fuck if you're an Olympic Cup bronze medalist or whatever it is. It's still Taekwondo in the end of the day. So
he's not arrogant. He's Dominican.
Shout out our boy TJ and Jay. Both of them are in here. Fucking Jay, you're hilarious. One of the funniest dudes on Twitter. Shout out to my boy TJ. He was ringing the bell for Brandon Royval all of last week. Gotta love that, man. Gotta love when our boys are getting everything right. So yeah, this is a get right spot for Rubelis to Spain. The question is, are you gonna take? I think this is the best part is we're gonna get a juiced over under here. And Austin Lane, someone that goes out in the first round quite often. If not, he gets hurt and then he goes out in the first minute of the second round. If not. Rubelis to Spain, more likely than not, will get him out in under probably a minute. So we're going to get a under round and a half, probably going to be around a minus 160, a minus 170, unless you have an actual line for it right now. Because again, I haven't looked at the lines whatsoever. And if
the lines are locked.
Yeah, so if we get it under 1.5 here, I don't really think it matters what the line is. 100% Taekwondo in his ass. I think that's a parlay piece. If not, depending on how big your units are, that's a straight bet by itself. So I like the under by itself for Bellis to Spain. Get right spot. The DraftKings has those fun little parlays. You'll take Robellis under 1.5, and I think that's pretty much, I hate to use the term, but I think it's pretty much lock. Austin Lane's one of the worst fighters on the roster.
I agree. So we're going with Rubelis to Spain by knockout. It's probably going to be minus 250. Under, actually. Yeah, under. If it goes over 1.5, this fight will suck. Yeah, it will. If it goes over 1.5, that means Rubelis didn't do any work on his wrestling and he's getting laid on. But I don't think that's going to happen. Next fight, we got to breeze through these next three. Next fight is Melissa Martinez versus Elise Ardelayan. Elise Ardelayan's 9-6, but she's actually a little bit better than her record. She came out against Shauna Bannon last time out. She was actually pretty damn good. She's an OnlyFans girl. She got a little thumper on her. Melissa Martinez hasn't fought in 2 years. She's 5 years younger. All I know is that if anything's hitting in this fight, it's the over 2.5. I don't want to say I'll pick Ardelayan because she's the OF girl. So that's how I'm going with that one.
I'm going to be honest with you. I know jack shit about either of those fighters. All I know it's Mexico versus Romania, and I love Latinas with pretty toes. So let's go Mexico, baby. Next fight.
Jessica Penne versus Elise Reed. And for me, I'm going Elise Reed. I don't think she's that bad. Jessica Penne is honestly decent, I guess, but she's pretty removed from her prime. She is 41 years old. Elise Reed is 31. I'm going with youth on this one. I think it's a little bit past Penne's time.
Big Matt, what up, baby? That's another fighter in our comments right there. Shout out to Matt. He runs the Fluid Fight team over there at Fluid Martial Arts in Tempe. Appreciate you joining us, brother. You're the fucking man. And he's handsome as fuck. Damn, why are all the fighters in the chat here handsome? You got Jay, TJ, and Matt. Everyone's handsome as hell.
And us too, you know.
I'm trying to think, who is the girl that fought last week? I think Elise Reed's the knockoff version of her. She lost to Julia Polostri. Who was the girl that lost to Polostri last
Corey
week?
McKenna. Elise Reed's a boxer, though.
Yeah, Elise Reed, though. Have you seen her takedown entries? And have you seen – no, wait. You're telling me Corey McKenna after last week isn't a fucking boxer either? Get the fuck out of here. Elise Reed is literally the Walmart version of Corey McKenna. Dude,
Corey McKenna just got cut.
Bro, it doesn't matter. Half the UFC roster is, you know how I feel about the UFC state of the roster right now. Anyways, that's beyond what I'm here for. This is another fight that I missed for me. All I know about this is that Elise Reed is literally to me the Walmart version of Corey McKenna. Every time I see her fight, I say it time and time again. Julia Penna's old as hell, or not Julia Penna. I'm sorry, Jessica Penne. My apologies. So I'm going to pass this fight with even giving a prediction. It's a women's MMA fight on the early prelim, so you automatically take the over.
Elise Reed does have a win over Jasmine Jasdavicius, though, and Corey McKenna. I don't know. I think she's a good pick, and the odds aren't crazy.
That's what I thought, too. It was funny because when they fought each other, it was like mirror images. If you guys have a chance, don't recommend rewatching the fight, but when you do, there's multiple times they throw the same mirror combination. It's the funniest shit ever.
Reed is minus 170. I'll rock with her, but I'm probably not going to be betting on her. Next fight, we got another battle of the ladies. This one actually could end up being a banger. We got Tamaris Vidal and Jocelyn Edwards. I'm rocking with Jocelyn Edwards in this fight, unless Tamaris Vidal can get some sort of sneaky sub at like plus 2,500. I'm going with Jocelyn Edwards to point fight her way to a decision.
Jay, I know sometimes you have issues sleeping because of the baby, bro. If you ever want to go to sleep, go rewatch the fight. Trust me. In terms of Vidal, I remember she fought Montserrat Rendon, who's a fucking midget, bro. Who's a fucking midget. Got wrestle fucked by Montserrat Rendon specifically. And if there is any chance in hell that Jocelyn Edwards is going to do that stupid long front teep kick, French style bullshit boxing here. But I don't remember what fight we saw, but Jocelyn Edwards implemented some sort of grappling takedown. And I'm having a mind block on exactly what fight it was. If she can implement any sort of grappling takedown over Vidal and she could take her down 2 of 3 rounds, she wins this fight. If she stays standing with Vidal, she probably gets cracked at some point of the fight and it sways the rounds at least 2 or 3 times. So this is pretty linear in the fact that you have Vidal either is going to crack her if they stay standing because Jocelyn Edwards' front teep kick maybe could keep her at range, but I don't think so in this case. Or Jocelyn Edwards is going to have to utilize the game plan that we don't always utilize or see in wrestling. So, again, none of these women fight really interests me. I'm being a mad hater. Y'all know how I feel about that. So, on to the next one.
We got 2 bangers to end out the prelims. It looks like 2 spots to set up up-and-coming prospects. First, we got Gene Matsumoto versus Brad Katona. And this one's actually interesting to me because Gene Matsumoto, although he's good, he's undefeated, 15-0. He had a lot of trouble early with Dan Argueta before the submission. And Dan Argueta is a dog. Brad Katona, in a way, I mean, maybe he's not as much of a dog as Argueta. I think he's a little bit better from a technical standpoint. He has decent boxing. He's decent everywhere, and he's tough, and he's durable. So I'll probably pick Gene Matsumoto in this fight, but at the end of the day, Brad Katona is a live dog here, in my opinion. I feel like he's not going to go away if he can implement his game plan. I mean, Brad Katona is not bad. He's not the funnest guy to watch for some people, but I have a weird feeling about this one that he might spoil the undefeated prospect. I'm not sure. I'm picking Gene Matsumoto, but I'm telling you, don't put him in every single parlay.
I don't know what the odds on this are. I like Gene Matsumoto. I think Gene Matsumoto finds a way to get it done. He's just a winner, man. His fight against Inalano Santos in the LFA is a hell of a good one, and he went the full decision to do so. He won his next subsequent fight, too, by guillotine in the LFA, which I remember betting on regionally. Matsumoto's someone here that has a lot of tools in his bag. And even though he does get taken down, as you saw by the Argueta fight, he finds a way to not only get back up, but he's always on the offensive attack. He's always on the front foot. He finds a way to utilize the geography of the cage like extremely well too. Use his footwork well, and he's not somewhere in there just throwing haymakers. I think Brad Katona has a chance to make this a really interesting fight as he has great cardio and he has a pretty well-rounded game. Brad Katona is a pretty good boxer. Not only is he a pretty good boxer, he has good takedown entries too as well. All in all, I think Matsumoto gets it done, and I think he gets it done by a decision here. But I wouldn't be surprised if Brad Katona got it. If Brad Katona did win, I'm not going to bet this fight at all. What are the odds on it? Just curious.
Gene Matsumoto is a minus 265 to Brad Katona at plus 215. That's what makes it interesting because I'm not betting.
Those odds are way off, though, bro. Way off. Right. I'm not saying it's a pick'em fight. I think Matsumoto should be the favorite, but it should be more like around minus 150 to me. So purely based off value, I think you could take Brad Katona. Trust me, especially if you watch this fight live. Unlike Dan Argueta, Brad Katona can push a 3-round pace. So.
Shout out SB Collectibles and Fitness. What's
up, baby?
Yeah, that's gonna be low key. I know that what's his name, Katona can get in. Oh, is that my boy? Nah. If Brad Katona, depending on the fight, like Brad Katona isn't always boring, man. I like Brad Katona, and sometimes people say, like, actually all the time, people are like, oh, he's boring, he's this and that. But I mean, I kind of like watching him fight, even against Garrett Armfield. I was tripping that night. I didn't even bet on that fight, and I was watching it, and I was like, Brad Katona won that.
The Armfield fight was really good, though, too, as well.
I thought he won. I don't know. At the end, it was 30-27.
His Cody Gibson fight, too, was a good-ass fight, too. They went to war.
Banger.
That fight was an actual banger. Like, those fools were slugging it the fuck out.
Katona has more dog than people give him credit for. I would like to see him catch a dub here, but
I just think it's because they saw his Ultimate Fighter season and saw how people necessarily didn't like him or were complaining about him. So
yeah, he was weird, but he cool. He cool in my book.
He's Canadian, brother.
All right, next fight to end out the prelims, we got Mateusz Nicolau and Asu Almabayev. This one is tough, man, because I feel like they're trying to. It's not that Nicolau has any hype on him anymore per se, but they're trying to use him to build Almabayev, and that's what it looks like to me. I think Nicolau is live here. Not that Almabayev doesn't have the power to put him away, with Nicolau's chin issues, but Almabayev is a tenacious wrestler and grappler, and I feel like it's going to be. I mean, Nicolau is nice though, dude. Nicolau is nice. I don't know. This one's hard for me to pick because I kind of want to pick the dog.
I don't know what the odds are, but I don't care what the odds are. I don't think this fight's close. I think Nicolau is going to get finished here. I think he gets submitted at some point in the fight. If not, he gets ground and pound and finish. Honestly, I think Nicolau has low volume on the feet. His stand-up striking is overrated. He doesn't use the geography of the cage well. His defensively grappling has laps and holes, and he's chinny. So when I add all these things, and he fights close, he keeps all fights close. So I'm going to take the guy with the grappling upside, with the finishing upside. And honestly, wins over Jose Johnson, Ode Osborne, I think those are good wins, man. You know, I rate Ode Osborne a lot higher than people rate him. Jose Johnson is one of the biggest flyweights we've possibly ever seen. Motherfucker's taller than I am. So
I love Jose Johnson, dude. I actually took him by sub in that fight. It was like plus 1,800. And
bruh, my chin, bro. Like,
no, he's talking about Nicolau.
Oh, I was like, what do you mean?
yeah, he didn't want to
because that's how I spell Nick. So I didn't even correlate with me.
Yeah, that OLAU will put somebody in a chokehold.
Yeah, I don't. And honestly, man, people like Mateus Nicolau here, but not even here in the spot. I just mean to think in general. No, I don't. I've never saw it. I think he's a fringe top 10 guy, quite frankly. So,
dude, me neither. I picked Brandon Royval by knockout over Nicolau.
I also you could find that shit on my Twitter. Brandon Royval is one of my hammer spots of the week. I actually have a DM with Brandon Royval and told him, and I asked him what charity he wanted me to donate a few bucks to, and he told me to keep it. So, gangster motherfucker he is.
Raw dog, baby.
Raw dog's the fucking shit. I hammered the fuck out of him live versus Tatsuro Taira. Hammered the living shit out of him. Holy hell.
Also, if you're super confident in Almabayev, the odds for him or his money line is minus 170. So there's a decent amount of value with that kind of confidence.
Yeah, I think as a parlay piece, especially, I mean, there's really looking at this card right now. I mean, I would take Almabayev in the under on whenever those lines drop on the Robelis fight. So I could take the under on the Robelis Lane fight and then this, and I think that would probably find you at plus odds. You would only really need somewhere around minus 200 to get plus odds in that case. And that's a parlay I feel really confident as a two-legger. So
yeah, I like that too. I'm nervous about that fight. I don't think Lane's getting through the 2.5 minutes in round 2. I don't think he's gonna make it that far. He's gonna gas even if he can wrestle fuck in round 1.
Lane highly doubt that he gets through 2.5 minutes of round 1 even.
Yeah.
You called it best. Get right spot, Brody. Get right spot.
I agree. Main card opener, we got a banger. We got an absolute banger on the main card. In my opinion, we got two old heads. Darren Elkins at 40, stepping in against Daniel Pineda at 39. I think this is a fucking banger. I don't care what anyone says, bro.
Well, you have the fucking damage versus 100% finish rate Pineda.
Yeah.
You have two fighters that I think are technically flawed as fuck all over the place. Clearly, right? Darren Elkins is known for just outlasting you, drowning you in the water, and seeing who can swim up to the top first. Daniel Pineda has decent kicks. He marches forward, he walks on the punches, and he has complete defensive lapses. He's susceptible to get finished as well. I don't think this fight's close, though. I think Daniel Pineda is going to beat the fuck out of Darren Elkins. Darren Elkins is old, and the damage just takes damage at this point. And at some point, man, your brain, your chin, the wire goes. And I think the wire's, really swinging and spindling on like the smallest of threads. At this point, I think Daniel Pineda really beats his ass. He's going to keep that 100% finish rate intact. Feel pretty confident about that. What are the odds on this fight?
Dude, me too. And the thing about Elkins, he bleeds, dude. So even if for some reason he doesn't put him
all that fucking scar tissue, you can only take so much damage, bro. And you only have so much face. You only have so much face.
Right. And the best part about this.
Real, what is this? What is this? 10 inches of fucking face? 10 inches of face? How many punches is that? 10 by, what is it? 10 by 3 square foot cubicle of face. How many fucking punches, elbows, and kicks has Darren Elkins taken, including the gym time, the sparring time? God, I'm sorry, guys. I got to throw my dog off the bed.
Yeah, dude. This is
with that being said, he probably has a literal million attacks to the face. Like when he gets to heaven and he has his stat count of his life right there, they're like, how many attacks to the face? He's going to be in the millions probably, bro.
Me and my boys talk about that, like the different stats we have, like how many of this did I do, how much of that did I blah blah blah, whatever. Yeah, what do you think the odds are on this fight though? Because this is actually, I'm so happy you're on Pineda because I heard some people saying Elkins, and I'm like, am I tripping? I feel like Pineda is almost like a lock.
Dude, technically, in terms of if these guys were gonna fight, right? And if you were about to do this 6-7 years ago, Pineda is someone that gasses in the third round. Pineda is someone that himself is susceptible to get finished. And Darren Elkins, who, again, didn't get finished 6-7 years ago, I would love Darren Elkins. Motherfucker, it is 2024. I'm going to take the guy that still has a little semblance of life in him, and that's Daniel Pineda. And I think Daniel Pineda is going to fucking outright finish him. And there's a bunch of ways he can do it. There's a bunch of ways he can do it. He can do it via doctor stoppage. He can do it via head kick. He can do it via left hook. And Pineda comes out there to fight, which I'm not saying Darren Elkins does either, but Darren Elkins isn't the same guy. So
what do you think the odds are? I just dropped my Zen out my mouth.
oh, fuck yeah, bro. Zins, dog.
You're another one, indeed.
Do some tobacco like a real man, you fucking pussy.
Dude, that's what I'm trying to get off. I'm off the back.
Phil, the boss man. What's up, baby?
OG Phil, baby. All right, what do you think the odds are before I reveal them to you?
Minus 160, Daniel Pineda, and plus 120, Darren Elkins.
No. Minus 122 for Daniel Pineda, plus 102 for Darren Elkins.
It's almost a fucking pick 'em.
Yeah. And
holy shnikes.
Yeah.
Bro, so, that's honestly, Daniel Pineda's a hammer spot this week. That's, as of so far, that's the hammer spot of the week. It's not even funny.
Dude, he's like, and I feel weird calling a 39-year-old the lock, but same time, I'm like, bro, he's as close as a lock. I mean, he's just so dangerous, and I don't think Elkins is going to survive, dude. And I think it could end in the first round. I think money line is valuable enough, but if his knockout is like plus 200, it's probably going to be closer to like plus 150, plus 145. But I like Pineda a lot, and I think that he's going to be the cornerstone parlay piece for the week.
Yeah, I don't even think you need to play him as a parlay. I think you play him straight up as a straight bet, man.
I feel that. Next fight, we got another dude. The main card of this fight night is fire, man. Next fight, we got a bantamweight bout: Brady Heastan and Jake Hadley. And this one is, for me, it's like Brady Heastan's a dog, man. And for some reason, I have a weird feeling because he was getting
TJ. If you're in the comments, TJ, you want to real quick take this one away before I say what we all know what I'm about to say real quick. I just want to say that.
What's he gonna say?
No, you keep going real quick.
Oh, I got a weird feeling because, well, I mean, I think Garrett Armfield's pretty good, but he was touching Brady Heastan, and Jake Hadley is. I feel like he's good too, man. Like my heart is telling me pick Brady Heastan because I really like Brady Heastan, but at the same time, Jake Hadley is a better striker than Garrett Armfield in my opinion, and I think he's if he hurts Brady Heastan the way Armfield did, I don't think he's gonna make it out of there. Spokane Shine. I want Brady Heastan to win. This is just a weird one for me.
It's fucking Brady time, brother. Toughness. He has everything we love in a fighter. Everything we love in a fighter. Toughness, gas tank, unwillingness to give up on himself, complete heart. I love Brady Heastan. He's someone I love. And one thing about Jake Hadley is if you can implement a wrestling game plan on him, he will lay on his back and try to play jiu-jitsu. Don't do that shit against Brady Heastan, who has slick jiu-jitsu himself and solid top pressure. When he gets on top of you, you don't get up. I love Brady Heastan in this. On top of that, he's a big motherfucking 135er. Unlike Jake Hadley, who is a small 135er. He's not necessarily the smallest of 135ers, but I agree with TJ up to the point. And hey, I'm going to put my nuts on the line. I love Brady in this spot. I love him. He's also a hammer spot to me, depending on the line. What's the line?
I do like
because Jake Hadley's boxing, I got to give him this. If it's a pure boxing match, Jake Hadley boxes him to pieces. But in an MMA fight, I love Heastan here.
I just get nervous because Heastan's been dropped in every single fight he's had.
Yeah, but he's been Donna back to Raul hits hard as fuck. Fernie Garcia, all he has is literally the power bomb to go. And Garrett Armfield has sharp, crisp boxing, and Garrett Armfield's big as fuck. He's fought at 145.
The odds for this one are Brady Houston minus 155, Jake Hadley plus 130.
Yeah, I think those are good odds. I would play Brady Houston all the way up to like a minus 180. Once you start getting to the minus 200 range, it gets dicey, and I would just wait to play it live because I could see Jake Hadley having some success round 1. But Brady Houston will win round 3. You can mark my words on that. Brady Houston will win round 3. Yeah, I like Brady Houston personally.
I do too. I like him a lot. He's one of my favorite fighters. We always used to, especially when he was an Ultimate Fighter, we would always say, "We stand with he stand." We stand with he stand, baby. I was so lit to see him.
Corny as shit. I gotta be real with you, bro.
Hey, but are you standing with him or not?
I remember watching Ultimate Fighter and always thinking, why the hell is Trayshawn Gore crying again? Why is this man crying again?
Yeah, there's going to be a banger, though, for as long as it lasts, and I think it might go late. Brady Houston and Jake Hadley are going to put on a show. After that, who do we got? We got our fucking boy, Charles Johnson.
Shit was corny, bro. Like,
hey, nah.
What the fuck is he talking about? We stand with Houston.
Hey, we going message Brady Houston and see if he likes it, and if he does, you both have to apologize. Next fight,
bro. It's of course he would like it. It's
all right, so it's not corny. He gonna be like, yo, that shit is not corny, bro.
Get the fuck out of here, Mike.
That's what he said. I just DM'd him.
It's queer.
It's queer. We're about to get hate speech, bro. Charles Johnson versus Suma Darji.
Oh, it's our boy. It's our fuck. Do we even need to discuss this?
How is he going to dismantle Suma Darji? That's the question. In which way will he be dismantled?
Body punches, and he finishes him late round 2. Round 2, baby. It's our boy. It's our boy Inner fucking G, baby. You know what time it is. Best 5-round fighter on planet Earth. We see you, Charles Johnson. We know what time it is. Hey, 3-round fight, that's completely fine. He's going to finish Suma Darji with his crisp boxing, and he's gotten this newfound developed power. Awesome, out of fucking nowhere. I love him. I love him. He finishes late in the second. It's time. It's time. You know, us boys here at CST are always with the Charles Johnson. We're always on the energy train. We're going to be riding that train until that bitch falls off the fucking tracks, baby.
The only thing that on the downside,
what does you have for him? He's not going to be able to wrestle him.
Nah.
Charles Johnson's going to defensively scramble him. He's not going to be able to out cardio his ass. That's not going to fucking happen. Even though one thing, Charles Johnson, one thing, if you're happen to be watching this, you know for a fact you should have gave me those tickets to the Denver show. Motherfucker, I had the most likes on the comment. I would have gotten the skullet. You just found the baddest bitch in your comment and gave her the tickets. I'm on to you. I'm not like that. And everyone knew it too, G. He said, damn, she's a pretty girl. I'm going to give her the tickets. Hey, respect. I always respect the game. You're the energy for a reason. But come on, G. You know those tickets should have been mine. Not playing with me.
Yeah, the books.
See what I'm saying? Y'all see it?
The books are on it.
Hey,
Charles Johnson
I'm not hating the game. I'm not hating the game.
He gonna be like, nah, dude. I don't even know what he can say to that, honestly.
What could he say to that? He'd be laughing because he know what time it is. He'd be laughing.
Is that foo with
it's the foo with the
Orobai.
Is that Orobai, sipping some milk in between the rounds with Euros Medic? Is that what's
disturbing?
Happening?
That's after he got cracked by Elvis Brenner, probably.
I don't know. Foo, you're a good looking Foo. You should put a picture of yourself, dog.
I would have picked her over you two, and that will rest Energy's case.
You haven't seen me without my shirt on, Jay. That's why, brother.
He hasn't got dolled up, put his extensions in yet.
My boy, I'm fucking cut, my G. All right. Stop playing with me.
Also, Charles Johnson is a minus 225 favorite to Suma Darji plus 185.
Oh, well, that's fine. I'll be okay with taking Charles Johnson double chance. Whenever those double chance lines drop, if I can get it at least plus 150 odds, I'll be more than happy.
Yeah, I do like Charles here. Suma Darji is young, but at the same time,
shout the fuck out to MMA Joey.
MMA Joey Raid.
Yeah, the MMA Joey gang is fucking.
Damn, the MMA Joey gang is in the fucking house. What is up, y'all?
That is awesome. Shout out MMA Joey and the gang.
Damn, you guys just missed my whole ass rant about Charles Johnson. So I apologize for that, man. If you guys want to rewind about, a minute and a half, I went in on a whole ass rant about Charles Johnson giving away tickets in Denver.
MMA Joey.
Man, fuck yeah, MMA Joey. We're about to replay the love, baby. Let's go.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's fire, dude.
All right, y'all. So what we got here with the next fight?
Our co-main event, we got Rob Font and Kyler Phillips.
Thanks for the love, y'all, for real. What's up, Joey gang?
Yeah, that's crazy, bro.
Sorry about my dog, y'all. He is all up on my shit.
But yeah, we got Kyler Phillips and Rob
Khamzat or Whitaker. That's a tough one in a 3-round fight.
Whitaker.
So in a 3-round fight, I'm always gonna take Whitaker just for the proven skill, but Khamzat can make it interesting. Just want to say that.
Love
so you
Rob,
said Rob,
love Rob, but Kyler a killer. Kyler is a killer, yo, and I think
as an Arizona boy, I love Kyler Phillips, man. He's representing the MMA lab here out of Arizona. It was surprising. I actually met him in person one time, and he wasn't as big as he looked on TV. It actually blew my mind. It looks like he doesn't have a tough weight cut to 135. And from what I understand, he doesn't have a huge weight cut, My man understands. Thank you, sir. John Carpenter knows what time it is, bro. It's Halloween time. We have to have the banner ready to go.
I think Kyler Phillips is taking this one, man. And
Rob Font is chinny. And Kyler, here is the one issue. Kyler Phillips seems to gas out when it comes to the second half of every single fight. It seems like an undeniable thing about him is he looks great within the first 7.5 minutes of every single fight. And then at some point, there's something that switches on in him to where he either slows down the pace and his feet get stuck in the mud. He's good at utilizing the geography of the cage. I love how well he utilizes his space. Footwork is top tier, and I think he has some of the better striking in the bantamweight division. Very underrated. It just hasn't been put on display because he hasn't been able to face the top position yet. With that being said, Rob Font's chinny as fuck. Good boxing, good jab. I can see Rob Font even getting chinned here, man. Getting older as time goes along. I think it's Kyler Phillips' time.
Yeah, the odds do reflect that. Kyler Phillips is sitting at a -440. Rob Font +340. Rob Font does have that boxing style. Kyler Phillips is real good at keeping his range, striking from distance. I think he's going to be able to hurt him. The question is, does he finish him, and are the odds juicy? And that's something I'm interested to see. I want to see if we can get – but – it's hard to say. I mean, Rob Font is tough. He is chinny.
Well, winning condition, I will say this. Kyler Phillips, you're going to take him. You got to take Kyler Phillips early. You go somewhere like FanDuel where you find him, Kyler Phillips, round 1 and 2, and that's how you take him. If you're going to take Rob Font, you take Rob Font live. Kyler Phillips will have a hell of a storm the first round, and you see how his gas tank looks from there. Because undeniably, even though Rob Font is chinny, he is not someone that will quit on himself, and he comes out every single round. If he can fight behind his jab, especially with the live lines changing, it's a strong possibility for a Rob Font line live, but that's only if you sense Kyler Phillips is gassing out.
Yeah, I can definitely.
The chinny Robs. That's literally it, man. Rob Whitaker does have issues. That's one thing that I brought up before his DDP fight is that he has issues with his chin. Even when he wins fight, he gets cracked. And when I bring up the terms chinny, everyone thinks it just means you're going out and getting knocked out like Jason fucking Witt. That's not exactly what I mean. It just means you can get cracked every single fight, even if you walk through it. It's like we were talking about with Ihor Topuria. You were like, dude, Ihor Topuria is not chinny. He gets cracked every single fucking fight. You know I'm bad with names. You know exactly what I'm saying.
That's my guy.
I'm sorry. Apologize, everybody.
And the referee was trying to get him killed in his last fight, bro. The referee was trying to kill Ihor Pereira, and he needs justice. I'm telling you.
Oh, man. Yeah, all in all here, if I were to play this in terms of a betting standpoint, I would play Kyler Phillips rounds 1 and 2. And I'm going to watch it live closely because if I get the inkling within the first round or two that Kyler Phillips is slowing down at all, I like Rob Font's chance here to fight behind a jab, even though I do think pre-fight live, I think Kyler Phillips is going to outbe disastrous in general.
Zach Summers has lost faith in Rob Font and Brandon Royval even after Tatsuro Taira last weekend or 2 days ago. That man put on, I mean, he was getting wrestle fuck for a little bit. Tyra's a great
Tyra's back control is next level, man.
It's insane.
That body triangle is different. Here's the one thing, though. Brandon Royval did almost 0 times tried to put the body triangle flat to the floor. So when you have the body triangle, and imagine this is the bottom side of the foot. You want this bottom side of the foot flat to the mat. And Brandon Royval at 0 times, it's like second day of jiu-jitsu shit that you learn. At 0 point did he ever try to get that foot flat from the body triangle and break it. Maybe at the end of, I think it was the second round that he attempted it. Man, it was insane, man. Brandon Royval is my favorite flyweight on planet Earth. Love him. Never lose faith in that guy, especially how much money he made me this weekend. Tatsuro Taira's the real fucking deal, though, y'all. The real fucking deal. And quite frankly, even though he did have moments of being gassed, he's going to have 5-round cardio. He's going to go back and learn from the lab. That's one thing we know about every single Japanese and Korean fighter on planet Earth is that they go back to the lab, they get better, and they always, especially if they show any sign of any cardio issues, they always go get their lungs right. So,
hey, if you're in here, hit that like and subscribe. We appreciate the love. That actually caught us by surprise. How many people
Hamzat winning all rounds is fucking absurd. Hamzat, if he wins, it's going to be by, I think, something first round or in the first half of the fight that's devastating because he's someone that's a known gasser. By definition, a known gasser. So,
yeah, that's going to be a fun fight, though, when it does happen. My boy has a theory that
no dishonorable motherfuckers in Japan. Yes, sir.
His recovery is remarkable. No dishonor for honor. Yeah, but Rob Font most likely going to lose, maybe inside the distance. FanDuel does do those props, method and round combo. Kyler Phillips to win in rounds 1 or 2. Or if you think Rob Font,
DraftKings also does them as well now. They got on board.
Do they still have because the last time I had checked, they didn't have 2 and 3. They just had 3 or decision.
Honestly, real quick, let's jump off and talk about Hamzat versus Whitaker because it seems like people really want to talk about this. I remember the Hamzat versus Usman. I remember that card when Usman took that fight on short notice. He legitimately had 0 lacking defense for the first 8 minutes of that fight. And Hamzat was on death's door round 3 in terms of breathing. So I remember that fight very clearly. Let's talk about this fight for a minute here.
First of all, how do we super chat? I don't know how to do a super chat yet. We are new to the we're newer to the live stream sphere.
Actually, I don't think so. I actually don't think we actually have the super chat monetization option. So that's what it is. I don't believe we have the monetization option. Really, we're just winging it off of what y'all are reading. So
we're gonna keep it consistent. Though. We're gonna keep getting things going.
I think Hamzat is yeah. I'm with the Diego Sanchez title off. BKFC title. I'm with that. I think Hamzat is liable to finish Rob Whitaker early, but it kind of goes back to the same theory on what I was talking about with the Kyler Phillips thought. I think Rob late. So
that's how I was leaning too. And we were on the same side before the cancellation and the Ikram fight. And we were even heavier on Rob against Ikram. We saw what happened with the first round knockout.
Style matchup to me though, because I think Hamzat can wrestle literally anybody. I think Hamzat literally can wrestle anybody. I think he hits harder than Ikram does, and he has that piston of a left hand. The left hand that Hamzat has packs more power than a lot more than Ikram does, in my opinion. He doesn't have that bladed style like Ikram does. So I thought it was a completely different style and mismatch. I just think there is an opportunity for Hamzat to get on top, work some groundwork, and that pistol left hand against Chinny Rob does scare me. So I guess pre-fight, pre-prediction before going back and watching, as much as I love Rob Whitaker, I would take Hamzat for the finish. It's weird to say, bro, because you know I hate to say it, y'all. I'm a Hamzat hater. Hamzat fucking hater, baby.
Hey, shout out Nabil. Shout out Nabil Ashrafi. Hope you grow fast. We appreciate the love, you guys.
Boy, and I'm sorry for mispronunciate this. Opie Taylor. If it's Opie Taylor, my apologies, man. Man, you guys are the shit, bro. Shout out to MMA fucking Joey and his army, y'all. Fucking gang.
Yeah, y'all went crazy, bro.
So we jumped off this for a little bit. Let's jump back on here to our fight card. Oh, my God. We're on the main event already. Michelle Pereira versus Anthony Hernandez.
This is an interesting
one. I love it. Okay, so Michelle Pereira at 185. I like him a lot more. You know, he's explosive. It seems like his gas tank seems to be better. I mean, not that we've had to see it yet because he's been so explosive with his finishes. He's going against, it's literally the dynamics of a cardio machine. But it's not like we haven't seen Anthony Hernandez get hurt early. You know, people forget that Kevin Holland finished him as early as it can be. Man, this is such a good fight. And this is by definition a play live spot. If you're going to play it pre-fight at all, I'm assuming Michelle Pereira is a dog. Let me know these odds.
I believe it's getting closer. As of right now, Fluffy is
Betting is for degenerates. And guess what? This is a show for degenerates and MMA fans.
We are degenerates, but
Oh,
we do love talking about.
yes, sir.
We do love talking about mixed martial arts. Betting aside, we like to sprinkle the betting in as well, though. So this is just for people who love fighting, who love chopping it up, and we love having you guys in the comment section. Anthony Hernandez is sitting at a minus 130 favorite with Michel Pereira at plus 110. So the odds are pretty close. It looks like the odds makers don't know exactly what's going to happen in this fight. And I'm right there with him because Anthony Hernandez is dangerous. I always bring him up to people who don't watch MMA. Like I had friends over for Marab, Sean O'Malley, and I was like, no, that's not the best grappling that you can see. Like, and I bring up Anthony Hernandez. I bring up Anthony Hernandez because when he gets you down, he's violent. He tries to kill you. And if you get back up, he'll try to take you back down. He'll try to kill you again. The only thing is Michel Pereira at plus 185, or not plus 185, at 185 pounds has been looking like a killer. And I feel like it's really a test of will Anthony Hernandez survive an early onslaught? If he does, I think it's his fight.
Yeah, I think this is this is now everyone's going to think I'm cheating by saying this. I swear to God, I'm not. You can play Michel Pereira. I don't think the line is good enough necessarily to play Michel Pereira, though, because I think if Anthony Hernandez gets his hands on Pereira and he grabs him down, drags him to the floor, and drown him, it's a game over. I mean, I won't forget. I don't care how weight drained Michel Pereira was. I saw him lose against Tristan Conley. We saw that fucking walkout, baby, and we saw him lose against a 145er, a natural Canadian 145er. One of the funniest walkouts I've ever seen in my life. With that being said here, I like Fluffy Hernandez. I think Fluffy Hernandez gets it done by finish. I think he gets it done by finish within the third or fourth round. Fluffy Hernandez by sub. That's the way I would play it. Especially what's going to be awesome here is I'm going to watch this fight. There's going to be moments where Michel Pereira looks awesome in the first round or two. And we just know as long as Anthony Hernandez can survive and advance that onslaught, we're going to smash that live line. And we pray that it keeps growing to an odds and odds and odds to bigger dog odds. So that's the hope.
On DraftKings, 74% of bets placed are on Michel Pereira, but the big money must not be there because the odds are still so close. I think
like a late sub.
Zach Summers says Michel's not even a gatekeeper. He's a fraud of an elite fighter. And like I said, I don't like using the term fraud too much, but at the same time, like I feel like there's a good chance we see Anthony Hernandez go out there and show out this weekend.
Yeah, I think, Douglas says, I think Fluffy is overrated, but I'm taking him over Michel. I'm in the same boat. I think Fluffy's also overrated. I think he's going to fight someone that can expose his open side body, and he's going to fight someone that can drown with him, that can go into the deep waters with him. And when that happens, it's going to be a tough day for him. But at the moment, I just don't think Michel Pereira is the guy that's going to go into the deep, dark waters with him. So
the other thing, though, is like to play devil's
advocate. And me and Jay, we're on the same. I agree. A late sub. There's going to be a props on FanDuel rounds 3, 4, and 5 submission. That's exactly how I would play this.
To play devil's advocate, though, Michel Pereira in his recent fights has done good body work, and Fluffy's body is a bit soft, man. That's
what I just said. He's gonna fight someone that's gonna expose that body. Like
we'll see what happens. Michel has a chance, but to me, it's a puncher's chance. And Fluffy, I was looking at him. I was watching.
Appreciate y'all. I was about to go to bed
promos this week, and I was looking at Anthony Hernandez's face. Like he has the gauges. He has like this emo boy look. Like it just reminded me back in school when we were, you see that one emo kid that you don't want to fuck with because he beats the shit out of people. And I was like, that's Anthony Hernandez. He's that emo kid that you think is sweet until you try him. And I'm excited, man. I don't really call him overrated.
He was at the skate park beating motherfuckers up.
Exactly. 100%. I feel like overrated. I don't know though, because I feel like nobody even talks about Anthony Hernandez.
I just think Michel gonna miss weight. I don't think so, fool. 185, Michel don't be missing weight like that, bro. So let's go look at this from an unobjective perspective. You have Roman Kopylov in the grand scheme of things, isn't that great? Edmund Shabazian, kind of garbage. Marc-Andre Barrios, his best attribute is that he builds up as the fight goes along, so it's cardio versus cardio. Josh Friend and Rodolfo Vieira, super, super overrated. So when you break it down, it's not like Fluffy is beating anyone that really makes your jaw drop.
You think Adolfo Vieira is overrated?
Fuck yes. In the grappling sense, as a jiu-jitsu practitioner myself, he's a great grappler. But in terms of MMA grappling, fuck yeah, he's overrated. Horrible shots, lack of takedown, and his striking offense is mids. Best he has is a low kick. So hell yeah, I think Adolfo Vieira is overrated. Michel Pereira's wins. Okay, he whore, not great. Andre Petrosky, gas bag. Michelle Olet, I always mess up that name. Michelle O. I'm just gonna say that.
Oleg Jacek.
Not great. Santiago Ponzinibbio, I like. Andre Fiallo, Nico Price, Chaos Williams, a hell of a good win. I mean, both their win streaks, honestly, are not great when it comes to getting broken down. But I just think style versus style, I'm gonna take the guy that can drown a little bit deeper in a 5-round fight.
Zach Summers knows what he's talking about. He says Khalil's also a dude who'd have some gauges. Yeah. Him and Anthony Hernandez will be homies.
Yeah, I can't agree more on the Kopylov take, OP. Kopylov has a great open side body kick when he has a switch stance, and he's good at pushing you against the cage. Besides that, he doesn't throw enough volume, and he's good at getting his back pushed against the cage. Ola Shashik, thank you. You're going to learn if you guys come back. I can't pronounce shit. And it's not being rude or anything. When it comes to the name portion of it, my brain just fires off so fast when it comes to reading these names. I don't sit and pronunciate them.
The best was Raul Rosas, one of the easier ones, because he just kept slipping
kicking my ass.
Raul Rosas. Raul Rosas. That shit had me geeking, bro. Overall, this is a decent card, though, man. I'm right now. I'm looking at from a betting standpoint. If I'm looking to place a parlay that I really like, it's gonna have Charles Johnson. It's gonna have my boy Daniel Pineda, and it's gonna have Anthony Hernandez. That's plus 365 for those three fighters, and that's just off the top. Obviously, I need to do a little bit more research.
If I were to do a 3-leg safe parlay, I would do Brady Heastand, I would do Charles Johnson, and I would do the Robelis to Spain Austin Lane fight to go over under 1.5, because I assume that's what the line's going to be at. Austin Lane's going to get smoked in there, and if he makes it out of the first round, he'll get smoked in the minute of the first round, or the first minute of the second round. I apologize. Brady Heastand is going to, survive an onslaught and eventually flat back Jake Hadley. And Jake Hadley's going to try to play too much jiu-jitsu, man. Brady Handstand is going to put it on his ass. And Charles Johnson's going to finish Sumidarji.
Brady Handstand. Hey, yo, I got a question for the chat. How would you guys feel about a PFL breakdown? I love PFL. He hates PFL. It's Mike versus Nick.
Hey, whoa. Let's white guy can't pronounce foreign names. No shit, bro. Like, I'm a dumbass American, unfortunately. Oh, Bubba, fuck off. With that being said, guys, I don't hate PFL. I love the fights. I hate Don Davis. That fool is the worst promoter on planet Earth. No one gives a shit about how fast the punch came or how quick the punch it was. The smart cage, motherfucker, that cage is dumb as shit. You know how many times those AI scores, anyone with a half a brain would go against those AI scores? PFL is just a garbage ass promotion. Promoting and then canceling Bellator Paris off a whim, and then PFL Chicago goes off out of nowhere. Fuck you. But yes, we're going to do a PFL breakdown.
PFL, and I love PFL. And with Francis Ngannou and Renan Ferreira fighting,
definitely need some more culture. I agree.
I feel like we got to do a PFL breakdown. I'm very interested in it. That'll be even though, like Nick said, he likes the fights. I like the fights. We just love fights, and any chance we can get to talk about some good ones is a good day.
There's actually someone that I already know that I'm going to take as an underdog that I know a lot of people won't agree with, but I'm ready to pull the hammer on this underdog, and I can't wait for the odds to drop on it. So, again, as a fight fan, I love PFL. As a fight fan, I fucking hate PFL, bro. If that makes any sense. Promotion is so garbage, but the fights are awesome, man. So
it's crazy. I've been to a few PFL playoffs now over in DC, and when I watch it online, especially when it's not the playoffs, and you're sitting there like, wow, dude, this pacing is unbelievably bad. But when you're at the event, for some reason, the events that I went to the World Championships last year and the semifinals this year, and the pacing was actually great. They got it done in a decent amount of time. And
are you talking about OP? Are you talking about Alexander Shabley? Alexander Shabley is super solid, and Usman Nurmagomedov himself would be top 5 in the UFC, possibly a champion in the UFC.
Yeah, Usman's a dog.
And low key, I think the lightweight division of the UFC this is an unpopular opinion, it's kind of fucking weak. If you look at the top 10 of the UFC lightweight, it's weak as hell. So you have Arman and Islam. Name a fight for the champion that's difficult besides Arman. Name a fucking fight. Anyone. I'm waiting for y'all. I used to think Damir Ismagulov was a guy.
You want a
I
hot
used to think
take?
Jalen Turner was a dark horse. Paul Hughes is gonna possibly beat AJ McKee. We're gonna see. We're gonna have to wait for my breakdown to see what we have to say. But with that being said, please in the comments, y'all, besides Arman Sarukian, name a fucking top 5 contender right now that you could see Islam even having fucking issues with.
You know who poses an interesting threat, and I'm gonna get hate.
Thank you. Thank you for not making me seem like a fucking hater. I appreciate that.
You know what MMA objectivity is gonna hate if I say
the Premier Fool League. Hell yeah, that's what PFL really stands for.
If
Big
I say
ups,
Michael
baby.
Chandler poses a threat.
Yeah, you're a dumbass. Michael Chandler has some of the lowest fight IQ on planet Earth.
If
he has about 8.5 minutes of cardio before he bounces on his hands. And
if he beats Charles Oliveira,
beat my ass.
Charles Oliveira, that's a title shot.
Shavkat Rakhmonov. I actually do know how to say Shavkat Rakhmonov, but that's a complete. I think he's just fucking with me right now because that's.
Tell him how to say Raul Rosas.
Yeah, 170. It's interesting. If Islam moved up to 170, I would love to see the Leon Edwards fight, even though I know he's not champ right now. I've always wanted to see that fight. Shavkat versus the winner of Bilal. Imagine that versus Islam. That's fucking interesting as hell, isn't it?
Hey, they're agreeing with me in the chat, bruh. I'm not saying, hey, hear me out. Hear me
okay.
Out.
Chandler can crack, but Nick, I promise you guys, if he doesn't knock him out in 5 minutes, that fight's a fucking ragdoll mauling, and he gets out of there within 4. He has the lowest. He is as low of fight IQ as it comes. I'm sorry, I'm cutting you off. I'm gonna hear you out.
See how I got my piece, my woo.
Thank you, Zach.
So, and I agree, Zach, I agree as well. But at the same time, just from a technical standpoint, if let's say, okay, based on his history, Michael Chandler's IQ is low. He likes to have a fun fight over winning the fight. But his American wrestling is top tier. He's strong.
Okay.
If he can,
let's talk about this wrestling real quick.
Stuff Islam Makhachev. Hey, you're interrupting me again. See, you be getting too hyped up on here. If Islam, for some reason, has an issue taking him down, Michael Chandler has the power to get it done. I'm not saying he will. I would give it a 1% chance. But in terms of where the division is right now, Michael Chandler beats Oliveira. Michael Chandler's a big star. They book Islam versus Michael Chandler because he's been hyping himself up here recently. I don't think he's going to win. I'm just saying stylistically, he does a better matchup than Dan Hooker, better matchup than Beneil Dariush. Beneil Dariush is not good in my opinion. Better matchup than Poirier again or Gaethje. I mean, who's he going to fight besides Arman? Arman's the only real, but outside of Arman, Michael Chandler at least has good wrestling.
Okay, for you to say Michael Chandler's a better matchup for Islam than Beneil Dariush, fuck out of here.
Beneil Dariush is weak, bro. Get out of here with that. He's old as shit. Nah, bro. Come on now.
Charles Oliveira, I understand, is one of the best back takers in MMA.
You said he went through hell.
Bro, stop it. He did.
You said he went through hell and back.
Are you kidding me? He was getting outstruck on the ground 20-9. He's getting outstruck 20 to fucking 9, more than 2-1. Kiss my ass. You really just brought up some bullshit. Anyways, he just brought up some bullshit.
Hey, Benny's looking frail, bro.
I'm telling you right now, if Islam and Michael Chandler fought, it wouldn't be a fucking fight. Everyone talks about Michael Chandler's wrestling, and wrestling is college. He's a 36-year-old man. When have we ever seen how great his wrestling is? He took down Justin Gaethje and had zero time of fucking top control. Since when have we seen him actually wrestle anyone? We haven't even.
No, we're talking about his wrestling defense.
The only time we've had to see him fucking defensively fucking grapple was against Charles Oliveira, and he got his fucking back taken. Yeah, he got out with collecting the 2-on-1 via the wrist control, but that was purely based off an explosion of athleticism. And then what happens? He gets chinned the next round. Islam Makhachev, no fucking doubt, being on that juice that he is, would no doubt have the 5-round gas for it. I promise you. And he's not getting fucking chinned. Okay. I'm sorry. I think that's a hot take. Islam Makhachev would fuck Michael Chandler up.
Nobody takes down Gaethje. Hey, also, I'm not saying Chandler's going to try to wrestle Islam. Wrestling defense to keep the fight standing would be his.
Nobody takes down Gaethje, except for Khabib Nurmagomedov.
That's what he said. He said except Khabib.
Oh, I didn't. I'm sorry. I'm all.
And Khabib is.
I know. I need to. That is a good point. I didn't even see.
And Khabib is him. So, and
I know Chandler's I need to chill. I'm on like full on rant mode. So
Chandler's wrestling is there for defense in a fight against Islam Makhachev. Like I said, I would pick Islam Makhachev. He would probably be a -500 favorite. But
the way this Douglas guy is spelling these names is fucking killing me.
Yeah, Blenio. That's how you pronounce it. What is that fucking emoji? Is that an elephant?
Patty subs Islam. Don't at me,
Hey, there's a hot take. There's a hot take.
bro. There's literally. I mean, I would put honestly the lines would be crazy, but you could put every single dollar you own on Michael Chandler getting fucked up. So
Remember when I said that I thought Ryan Garcia might beat Devin Haney, and you said that was the dumbest pick I ever had? Oh, Nick, you went mute. You went mute. You got to unmute so you can.
I said, well, we have it on YouTube, dog. So you know what? We can go back and see exactly what I said to the verbatim.
But is this pick dumber than that?
Bring up these stupid ass one-time things.
It can always happen. That's the thing, though.
Brain's not good enough to remember these one-time things.
You never know, though, because I mean, what would you do if Michael Chandler somehow at the age of 39 in 2025 knocks out Islam? Everyone would be like, "Oh my God, he's him."
Well, y'all, we're about to get out of here in a minute. Before we get out of here, any last hot take questions? Someone actually asked who Gaethje fights next. That's a good question. We haven't seen Dan Hooker versus Gaethje next. Versus Gaethje. Like, see fucking Dan Hooker versus Gaethje.
Dude, I heard Conor McGregor talking about he wants to fight Dan Hooker, and Dan Hooker said he's down.
No one gives a fuck about Conor McGregor.
I mean, but that takes Dan Hooker out of the question for Gaethje.
I think Ilya is going to be the first person to ever chin Max Holloway, unfortunately. Fun fact, one of my best calls on this cast ever was saying my lock of the year was Max Holloway by finish over Justin Gaethje. By finish. Even though it was a last-minute fluke finish, it was my lock of the year. I'm a huge Max advocate. Who the fuck isn't? I think all of the equated damage that he's taken so far is how as great as his chin is, it's meant to go at some point. I think this is the time that it finally goes. And Ilya has slick boxing, good inside punching, and I think he gets in range and cracks him. 25 minutes with Ilya Topuria at 145 is a tough thing. Granted, he couldn't put away Josh Emmett, but Josh Emmett's like unworldly tough. Max Holloway has the greatest chin of all time. I feel like I'm naturally changing my pick outright as I'm speaking about it because now I'm kind of leaning Max.
Max, bro. I'm going Max. I'm riding it to the wheels fall.
Max at plus 180 to skip. It's hard to skip Max at plus odds. You know what I'm saying?
100%.
When you see Max at plus odds, it's like one of those things where you just take the value purely based on that because it comes down to a value pick. Ilya's not going to be able to take him down and use his amazing jiu-jitsu. Ilya has amazing jiu-jitsu that nobody ever talks about. The inside boxing scares me. The body punching scares me. I'm sorry, I'm not keeping up with the comments as I rant. I'm going to go through these comments after this rant.
Moicano versus Gaethje, they said.
I literally flipped my pick to Max Holloway, baby. Moicano versus Gaethje would be fucking amazing, bro.
That's what I'm saying, dude.
I think Dan Hooker's stance is way too wide. I think he would get his leg kicked to shit. I think Justin Gaethje could win that fight via leg kick TKO, actually.
And I mean, and also, yeah, stylistically, it will be hard for Moicano to get Gaethje down.
Josh Emmett, inbred power. Hey, bro, for real though, Josh Emmett's been through some shit, bro. Like, he learned how to fight to protect his mom because his stepdad used to beat the fuck out of him and his mom to death, damn near. Like, literally used to wake up to his mom damn near on her deathbed. So dude, I respect the fuck out of Josh Emmett for being so gangster tough as he is. People forget one of my favorite fights of all fucking time. Shane Burgos versus Josh fucking Emmett. He tears his MCL and ACL in that fight in the first fucking round and goes on to drop Shane Burgos 3 fucking times. You guys want to watch a fucking banger classic? Josh Emmett, Shane Burgos, 3 rounds of fucking just badassery. Holy fuck. Yeah, I want to match dog, so bad, but
Josh Emmett put up. I mean, he didn't put up a good fight against Ilya Topuria, but I was a Josh Emmett hater. And after round 4, when the doctors were trying to stop it, and they were like, "Bro, you got to get a finish." He's like, "I want to fight." He went out there swinging bombs and made Ilya wrestle to stay safe. To me, I'm a Josh Emmett stan ever since that performance.
For real,
the orc is crazy. They say Dan Hooker kills Conor.
Bro, about that. Hey, Kyle, the person that commented would know firsthand. Fucking trust me, okay? Nothing like domestic violence. Learn how to scrap. He's a hell of a scrapper. Promise you, man. So
Ilya's showcase, you could pick any of them, but honestly, I would say his highest level showcase would probably be against Josh Emmett because it's a 5-round fight and he's really putting it on him.
He had a 10-7 round in there.
He beat the shit out of
multiple 10-8. What was it, like 50-42 was the final scorecard on multiple judges' scorecards? That was truly is like a true showcase. You know, I like to watch fights with diversity. The Zalal fight the Yusuf Zalal fight shows a little bit of adversity for Ilia Topuria, where he was forced to wrestle because he was having issues standing. And Zalal's a long striker, very similar to Max Holloway is. So that's something that I'd be interested to watch. You also saw too as well. Max Holloway can't implement this game plan. Bryce Mitchell in the last minute and a half of the round was able to get Ilia Topuria down and hold him down for a minute and a half. Something to keep in mind, just little things to keep in mind. And I forgot Max Holloway's name, Choreo something. Max Holloway coach's name, great game planner. So not counting anyone out. So
I heard people talking shit about this Zalal fight, so I watched it and I was like, "What the fuck? This shows how good." And it's aged well too, because Zalal
it really has, because Zalal is aged well, bro. He's getting better as he's fought.
He's fun too.
And honestly, man, it just shows Ilya has good ass grappling, bro. Like scrambles, transitions, and he can finish fights on the ground. So I'm pretty excited. I'm pretty excited for this card, man. I'm excited to break down that fucking fight card.
Who's Chandler? Oh, Chandler. Cracks harder than Chandler. Hey, he probably does. Low key, he puts people down.
Bro, shout out to the CST squad on here. Shout out to the MMA Joey squad, the Joey Foo. Shout out to the MMA fucking Foo.
Yeah, bro.
Fuck, man.
I'm down to keep it going for a little while if you want to keep chopping up fights.
Honestly, I am down to keep it going, but one sec, y'all. You're going to have to talk it up with these fools for a minute. My dog's getting restless, so I'm going to go let him out of my room because he's annoying me. Give me a second.
All right. I would love to see Patty more active. Anyone else? I would like to see him more active, and he's not as young as he once was.
Come on, fool.
In my opinion, Patty Pimblett starts taking his career more seriously, stops ballooning up after his fights, and he can Chandler's funny. And he can Patty is good, man. People been shading Patty for a long time, and not that beating Bobby Green is like, oh my God, he's him, he's that guy. But at the end of the day, the way he finished Bobby Green is pretty impressive, and I think a lot of people were expecting him to lose that fight based on what I remember from social media. And I think Patty, I mean, Patty's easiest path to the top, what he was saying after he beat Bobby Green, maybe get a Renato Moicano, but we now see he might not want no part of Moicano. And I don't think Moicano's going to want to fight him either. Moicano's probably looking up. Patty's going to have to go with, what's Patty now? 15, 14 in the rankings? I would have to pull up the rankings on who I think he could fight next. But, I mean, top 10, I mean, maybe I think Dan Hooker beats the fuck out of Patty Pimblett, though. So it's going to be hard for him to like, be strategically placed through the rankings. I think Moicano was the guy who he was going to have to fight. And, you know, hopefully grappling for grappling, Patty be able to get it done. And then after that, you get a top 5 against Beneil Dariush. And that's, in my opinion, a winnable fight. Nick might hate on that, but Beneil Dariush, someone said it in the chat, he's looking weak, bro. And although he is good, he put on a performance against Mateusz Gamrot, who I think is overrated. Beat Moicano, beat Benny Dariush, gifted a title shot. I don't think Patty's going to be a champion, but I don't think it's in the cards for him. He is cool, though. I'm not a Patty hater, but that was one. Oh, you got lucky. I don't know, man. He fucked Bobby Green up. Bobby Green shouldn't have been shooting for that takedown. I think he got kind of kicked off balance. Hey. I like Jared Gordon. Zach Summers. What happens if Gaethje cracks Patty? Yeah, he's probably going down, but maybe he recovers quickly enough and, you know, gets another lucky sub. You know, it's hard to say.
Wait, what the fuck did I just walk into?
We're talking about
Gaethje versus Patty.
We're talking about Patty Pimblett and if he has a realistic path.
To what? Path to beating Gaethje or a title shot?
So we were talking about, they were talking about Patty Pimblett getting more active, and I actually had a take on this because he talked about strategically moving up, like having to beat Hooker or Moicano. And then
MMA objectivity, don't tell Mike that you have a weird take on the Hooker versus Gamrot fight, because Mike's gonna start fucking blowing a gasket about how Hooker clearly the clearest 30-27 you've ever fucking seen.
29-28, clear as day.
Yeah, for Gamrot.
For Dan Hooker, Gamrot was nut hugging, trying to sniff Dan Hooker's Johnson, and he got his ass beat.
Okay.
Let's see. What is the chat thing? Did Dan Hooker win that fight?
Nah. All right. Who won, Gamrot or Dan Hooker? I want to hear everybody's opinion here.
Yeah. Let him know. Let Nick know. We can let him down easy.
Either way,
Patty is chinny as all hell. And for as little as Gaethje offensively wrestles, he has pretty decent defensive scrambles. His jiu-jitsu's fucking zero, though. Like, he has like white belt level jiu-jitsu out there. It's pretty insane. So if Patty were to get to his back, that's a path that he could do to take and beat Gaethje. But I think Gaethje would crack his ass on entry. I don't think that fight really would be close.
Yeah, and I was thinking about like a strategic placement. So
Dan Cook. So everyone thinks so. Zach got Dan. Jay got Dan. He also loves hookers. OP got Dan. So I guess I'm a fucking idiot. Kyle agrees with whatever I say because he probably didn't watch it. Scoring for dummies.
OP switching up now. OP switching up.
Oh, okay. Thank you, OP. Thank you. I'm like, thank you. I'm like, all right. Gamrot was piecing him up round 3 and shot. Dumbtowns gave Dan free elbows. Gamrot keeps standing. He wins around striking. OP got Gamrot. So we have a few people with Hooker, then me and OP got Gamrot. So, hey, at least I know I'm not fucking crazy.
You know, it was close. I'm not saying it was some sort of, it would have been a blatant robbery the other way. I just think the right guy won. He was doing more damage, and, you know, it is what it is. And when we were talking about Patty, I wasn't matching him with
I actually didn't have any. I actually had money on Dan Hooker that fight, actually.
I had money on Dan Hooker as well.
Yeah. Jay's like, Nick had money on Gamrot. That's why I swear I actually had money on Dan Hooker that fight. It's funny as I don't know, man. I don't know. I try to watch fights as unobjectively as possible, right? I truly do.
As
even when I have
right?
A little mix of both. Depends on how much money I have on the line. Let's just be completely honest with you. So I'm not complaining. I'm just saying I don't understand when people like Mike like to scream, oh, it's clear 29-28.
It was, bro. It was clear as day.
And to me, it's funny is I always know by Mike's tweets who he has money on every single time.
Nah, because dude, some of these times I get so confused with the way that the judging criteria, that's a topic right there. The judging criteria is such bullshit. The only thing consistent about the judging criteria is the inconsistency in the judging criteria.
That's a fact. That is 100% fact.
It makes me so mad because I'm like, if I am or if I'm not betting, how the fuck am I supposed to bet? Okay, they gave this guy the decision because he had control. They gave this guy the decision because he had damage in a very simple, like we could take two fights that look very similar. And then the damage side wins one, the control side wins one. And then you're sitting here like, what the fuck? How, if I'm betting, how the fuck am I supposed to be able to pick the guy who gets control or the guy
we literally had the same exact scenario last weekend. I need to pull it up.
And even from
it was a female fight that got scored completely one way, and then in the male fight, we saw the same thing.
It was Batista and Aldo, and then Pennington and Pena. Because, like, I remember, bro, we were watching. So I'm watching, and when Mario Batista has Jose Aldo pinned against the cage in round 3, the commentary was even saying this is a smart game plan. And then Pennington literally had her back taken by Pena.
Actually,
Pena had Pennington's back as she has her back. And the commentary saying she has to do something with this. She has to do something with this. She literally has her back. And you guys are just applauding Mario Batista for stalling against the cage. So commentary wise, judging wise, it's hard to tell what we're looking at and what is winning position. Does control beat damage? Like it's ridiculous, man. I could talk about that shit. I get mad thinking about that.
OP, I think, has a great point here. There should be actual way to give points. Everyone talks about this is what I hate when I talk to people at work about fights. Well, did they score points? Bro, that's not how it works. They scored a 10-9 must system like this is a fucking boxing match. They refuse to give 10-8s and they refuse to give 10-10s. It's a fucking joke when you can give the 10-10. Like, it makes zero sense to me in term. But if we had more of a clear criteria, okay, this takedown, if we were to score like out of 100, this is the one thing the AI score out of 100. What if we added up? We had this for points, and we had an actual punch total tally at the end of these fight cards or at the end of these rounds. Then we can tally it all up and we really know what really happened. Or we can look at this cut caused this damage and things of that nature, almost like a video game scoring criteria. I know it's almost impossible, but another fix too is open scoring. An issue with open scoring is that if someone is up, they can coast to the round, yes.
But damn, that means that someone that's down is going to go balls to the wall most of the time. It's going to cause for some good fucking fights naturally. So
I see Opie says if you're ragdolled for half the round and get dropped, well, a finish wins, not taking over the 6 takedown score. See, that happened in Brandon Moreno versus Figgy. That fight ended in a draw when Moreno was kind of whooping him with control. He was trying to advance position. He was doing all this on the ground, scrambling. And then at the very end of the literal very end of the round, Figgy drops Moreno, and that round is unanimously scored for Figgy. And I think we see times where, you know, that similar situation happens too, but they give the round to the guy who controlled for the entire time. So I know it's hard to be a judge, but at the same time, there are blatant inconsistencies that need to be addressed. Big Vinny talks. Shout out the boy. I need to see Ziam. Dude, yo, I was talking about that, Douglas, the second that fight ended with Ziam and Frivola, my boy texted me and he was like, who you got, Ziam or Zellhuber? And I was like, that's a fucking banger. And initially I thought Zellhuber. And I still kind of think Zellhuber, but Ziam surprised me looking like a fucking world beater in Paris. I was telling my boys, Frivola's a good dog, man. Ziam has not showed me anything that makes me think he's going to be able to stop Frivola's power or wrestling. And I was so wrong. Luckily, the public, a lot of us, we won picks. Jacob Lyons, he was on Frivola for his lock of the week. I wasn't alone. But Ziam looked like a world beater that night.
That's why I don't listen to other cappers, bro. Sways my opinion too much. Not because like they don't know, because they know just as much as I do. It's a fist fight. It's technically 50-50, almost all of them, right? But it's just because I don't like to sway my opinion by listening to other people. Kind of, I can't tell you how many times I've had a bet. Like this is back in the day where I'd have a bet and then I'd listen to someone else and then it'd sway me the wrong way. It's like, fuck. So
yeah, I don't do that anymore. Like
I think in terms of getting ragdolled for the whole round, it really depends on if you're getting ragdolled the whole round, what's happening? Is the person getting up and then getting taken down in a Marab style fashion, or are they getting held down and controlled and beat the shit out of on top in a, you know, Khabib, Ricky Simone style fashion? If they're getting held down on top and getting beat up on, and then they get clipped and dropped in the last 30 seconds, I'm still probably going to take the guy that has 45 punches and a takedown to the guy that got the one single clip drop personally. But if the person keeps getting up and trying to throw knees, elbows, punches, damaging things from the bottom while the other guy's just holding for dear life, i.e. a Mario Bautista holding the waist against the fence with literally zero offense, maybe a few thigh taps, I'm going to take the guy that's at least trying to throw the advancing offense. So that's kind of the way my brain works in terms of scoring. So,
hey, MMA objectivity. Jeremiah Wells versus Matt Semmelsberger. Matt dropped Wells in 2 rounds, then got controlled for 3 minutes, and they scored it for Wells. It's funny because Matt Semmelsberger I grew up with him, and we went to the same school. And I'm obviously very biased to Matt Semi. And I remember I got online because I was like, let me see what the other people think about this fight. Because Semi dropped him in round 1, got controlled, but bad. Dropped him in round 2, got controlled. He even did a lot of damage in round 3, and the same thing. He just couldn't get up.
I had Semi. I actually think Semi. I know exactly. I think Semi won that one specifically.
So did I. Matt Brown was talking about it.
Jeremiah Wells was just playing way too much hip heisting and hip control, and he wasn't doing like
elbows that weren't landing.
He wasn't even really attempting too many position advances. So
that was a tough one, man, because that's the hometown boy. That's represent for Frederick. So
Demetrius Johnson versus Miguel Torres. I can't say I have, or at least can't remember it off tops.
Yeah, honestly, I'm not remembering DJ and Miguel Torres either. JC be knowing some shit though. Yo, when I saw your tweet during the Arthur Better BF fight about robberies, and you were like, y'all cry robbery for everything. A robbery is Tim Bradley over Manny Pacquiao. And I was like, okay,
dude, that's
Jay.
Pernell Whitaker, Julio Caesar, you know. But honestly though, can we talk about Arthur Better BF versus Bivol for a minute, y'all?
Dude.
Yeah, getting held down. So as a jiu-jitsu player, bro, getting held down fucking sucks. And I consider my defensive grappling one of my my defensive wrestling one of my better traits, just because I fucking hate getting held from bottom. So I would love fucking jumping to footlocks, baby. So I would love jumping to footlocks. Not for an MMA fight. MMA fight, that is something that I love to bet against. Let's talk about Better versus Bivol real quick. I rewatched that fight after scoring it live. Scoring it live, I scored it round by round on my Twitter, and I scored it 8-4, Arthur Beterbiev to Dimitri Bivol, watching it live. after rewatching it, you can score it still. Everyone was crying robbery 16 to 112. 8 to 4. The only definitive rounds you could truly give to Bivol are 1 and 2 and 8 and 9. 10 through 12 are definitive for Beterbiev. 3 and 5 are definitive for Beterbiev. So that leaves us with swing rounds of 4 and 7 and 6. So 3 swing rounds. You're telling me you couldn't definitively give that to Beterbiev for being the pressure forward fighter and the more offensively active fighter? I understand Bivol when he was throwing, landing the cleaner and sharper punches, but calling it a robbery is just fucking outright dumb, and people don't know how to score fights, especially not boxing fights. I could understand a draw. I could see 7 to 5 Beterbiev, but scoring it for Bivol, to me, that would have been far closer to a fucking robbery than giving 116 to 112 to Beterbiev.
Yeah, man.
I'm actually going to rewatch that fight before bed, Jay. Fucking DJ before Miguel Torres.
I was watching Beterbiev.
I love old school DJ fights.
My guy, he's my old head. He's my OG. My boy Eric, he's been a boxing fan since before I was alive. And we were watching that fight, and I'm like, what do you think? This is what I think. And he was agreeing with me most of the time when, although Bivol was, he was landing his clean jabs, when Beterbiev was hitting Bivol, you could tell based on his body language, he was not liking it. And when Beterbiev was moving forward, he was winning every exchange. And bro, I thought it was Beterbiev all day. I got on, and the amount of people that I saw crying robbery, I'm like, bro, how they were saying like aggression with no effect, like aggression, like non-effective aggression wins fights now. And I'm like, how was it not effective at all? Like, I feel like he was backing Bivol up.
He's punching the guard to punch through the guard and punch around the guard. And that's how Beterbiev fights. And it's not, again, you can clearly score 8, 9, 1, and 2 for Bivol. No problem there. But then again, you have to clearly score 5, 3, 10 through 12. The championship rounds, by the way, that fucking matter for Beterbiev. So that off rips leaves us 5, 4. So then we go down and then we're looking at the other 3 rounds. And Beterbiev was on all 3 of those rounds, walking forward. Even if he was punching the guard, was still trying to punch through the guard. Bivol was doing nothing but just moving, actively moving. He wasn't even popping his jab out there. And then Bivol, once Beterbiev started punching through the body, he was actually attacking the body. So
Terrence Crawford and Jake Paul dude, who was that fight? That 25-0 cruiserweight dude who beat the fuck out of Jack Massey?
Opataya versus Jack Massey. Joe Opataya looks fucking awesome.
Dude,
bro, so OP, my man. Let me tell you, bro. I'm a huge boxing fanatic. Real quick, I'm gonna let you go, Mike. I'm sorry for cutting you off. Huge boxing fanatic. You want to talk about fighters that you need to watch that are gonna keep you interested? Naoya Inoue, Junto Nakatani, Nick Ball. These are fighters that you need to watch. Jay Opataya, that my boy Mike's about to talk about right now. These are fighters that will keep you interested in fighting or in boxing specifically.
Yeah, I know that. And of course, MMA is growing way more significantly than boxing is at this point. But dude, if you pick the right boxing, you talk to some boxing heads that enjoy it, like this is the one you got to watch. This is the one you got to watch. Like there's guys like David Benavidez, obviously Gervonta Davis, the guys who.
David Benavidez is an Arizona boy. How did I forget about my boy?
There's some serious fucking talent right now. And but no, that Opataya, dude, that guy was, and all I was thinking during that fight was this guy fights at the same weight class as Jake Paul. I couldn't even fathom what would happen to Jake Paul if he stepped in the ring with that dude. That guy, even though they're the same weight, the dimensions are so significantly different.
MD couldn't agree more. I hate watching baseball. That I couldn't agree with more.
I fucking love baseball.
I just hate the politics of boxing. And Zach, I can't tell you how much I couldn't agree more. My buddy TJ, he's an MMA fighter, and he fucking absolutely would be screaming to the rooftops. As a jiu-jitsu guy, my whole game is essentially to attempt to get on top, and if not, I jump to a footlock, quite frankly, and try to get the sub from that point. My guard game is ass, so try not to play there, realistically.
Dude, I used to love playing guard.
Bro, could you imagine Jake fighting really any cruiserweight? I can't think of really. He would get it beat up by Jack Massey, Jay Opataya, Richard Arakbo, CBS, like you name it, they're gonna beat his fucking ass. Like,
who's that dude that Eddie Hearn was talking to Jake Paul, and Jake Paul.
I can't. You know me, brother. I stand by my takes. I love you.
What's that guy's name?
Go Mets. Go Mets, though. Go Mets all the way to the World Series for you, Jay.
They had a good dub today against the bullpen.
Great fucking dub, bro.
Kills me. Yeah, the other thing,
Fucking
Zach,
hate the
about
Dodgers.
BJJ,
Hate the Dodgers.
if you're a guy who's comfortable in guard and you're going against like a high level folk style wrestler or a Dagestani Sambo style wrestler, those guys are going to negate the jujitsu with their wrestling. So that's the only thing that sucks about being content with being on your back, because you're going to get held down for the rest of the round. And it happens all the time. And the BJJ guy can just do nothing. And they might get a scramble here for like a knee bar or something. And that's when you get the shit beat out of you.
Yeah, Eddie has a horrible habit of getting his fighters beat the fuck
Dude,
up.
he tried to put Jake Paul against that one dude. What's his name? He's an Olympian, and Jake Paul's like, give me any of your top 10 guys that aren't that have less than 5 fights professional. And he was like, this guy. I can't remember what his name is. It's like Shell, or what the fuck is this dude's name? And I was looking at him, and he's a dog. Eddie, I'm about to look him up. Chev Clark. Fucking
no way he was gonna have him fight Chev Clark.
Because he told him, Jake Paul was like, any of your guys, give me any of your top 10 guys that have less than 5 or less than however many he had, less than 7 professional fights. And he was like, Chev Clark. And Jake Paul's like, give me any of your guys. And he just completely ignored it. And it's like, dude, I mean, I would love to see Jake. To be fair, though, I kind of like what Jake Paul's doing with MMA, and like he's taking it his role seriously with the PFL. He was at the Anthem in DC commentating for PFL semifinals, and I thought he was doing a great job. He was getting massively booed, but for what he was doing, I thought he gave good breakdowns. You know, he had some sort of, you know, actual knowledge about mixed martial arts. He's bringing eyes to the PFL, and I do respect him for that.
I think were people adopting that could be leg lace against the fence? Absolutely. It's becoming a staple, not only in cage grappling, bro. It's becoming a staple just in all grappling in general. People are loving that leg lace, that figure 4, far side wrist cuff too as well, which is just a wrist ride in American. It's a Dagestani handcuff, and it's a wrist ride in American wrestling, or a 2-on-1 set. But man, I gotta get going here soon. But do y'all have any final thoughts, comments, or questions in the last few minutes before we get out of here, man? BJJ has learned to tap his best. Rotula Bros, Ryan Bros. Yeah, CJI was the fucking shit, y'all, man. I love watching the Tackett Bros. I like the Tackett Bros style of grappling too. Cody Steele is the Tackett Bros, actually, dude that just got signed from Contenders. The Tackett Bros, one of his best friends. That's why I like Cody Steele. Very high on him. What's my opinion on karate combat? The Pit is the fucking shit, quite frankly. But they, to me, are the same boat as BKFC. When Sam Alvey's your champion, it diminishes your promotion. Just saying, taking washed up fighters and making them your champions definitely diminishes your promotion. You should build up your own fighters from young guys like a Scott Coker did with a young Bellator or a Strikeforce. So big fan of karate combat. The Pit's the shit, man.
What's your take on Bilal versus Shavkat? This one is interesting because Bilal,
Bilal is different, bro.
He's him.
Juice Bilal is different. I want to know what EPO he's on.
He's on that secret juice with Paulo Costa. He spent some time with the Brazilians.
Yeah, get the fuck out of here. Spend some time at Dagestani with them boys. He's on the AKA juice. Whatever those boys are on in the AKA, I want some of it.
I know JC's picking Bilal. Dude, Bilal will probably be a plus 250 in that fight.
Standing, bro, that high crotch is nice, bro. He can hit you with a double leg. His fence wrestling is absolutely incredible. Shavkat, my finish. I'm gonna keep his 100% win rate intact. What do you think?
Hey, shout out Zach Summers for the sub. I appreciate y'all. We appreciate you guys. This shit is awesome. He's on that free Palestine shit.
Bro, fuck yeah. Hey, shout out to you, Zach. Shout out to you, Doug, for real.
Bilal could pierce the Iron Dome. Bilal dubs in the chat. Ooh, yeah, that is, you gotta respect Bilal. You gotta respect Bilal because he's actually taking on like the most scary guy.
His win streak is fucking good, bro.
They were trying to do him like
Wonderboy Burns, Luque, Leon Edwards, and if he beats Shavkat, that's like a legendary run at 170, bro. Damian Maya, Lyman Good, like I'm missing a few too.
Bro, he's got like what, 12? 13?
It's called a bar. Thank you for that, OP. I appreciate you for teaching me that.
Bilal Muhammad earns big. I mean, he already had my respect.
Seem way smarter in jiu-jitsu practice now. Fuck yeah. JP Bilal is him. Bilal is based. He's also juiced. It's on that Free Palestine. Damn, you're way ahead of me. That's why you're all reading them way ahead of me. Holy shit. Bilal can't be denied. Neither can that EPO. So I don't know, bro.
He already broke the curse. So the 35 and up and welterweight and under in title fights is like now 3-38 or some shit, or 3-28.
So you're telling me
Okay, already.
odds-wise, he has a 90% chance of losing purely based off that statistic, even though he already broke it once?
The only other fighter to do it was Tyron Woodley.
Shavkat's going to keep his win rate intact, baby. Let's go.
The only other fighter to do it, bro, is Tyron Woodley, and he did it twice. So Bilal Muhammad is the second person to do it. Is he going
kind of underrated run by Tyron Woodley too as well? Damian Maia, Wonderboy twice. I don't think it's really an argument. I think he beat Wonderboy both times. Darren Till, young Darren Till. I don't think that's that crazy of an opinion, bro. When you go back and watch it, at worst, you can give it the draw that you gave it.
Dude, I was so mad watching that fight live. I thought Woodley or Wonderboy did that shit, yeah.
Bro, that's the coolest fight card I've ever watched live, I think, just because I was serving tables then. At that point, everyone was just so focused on the main card because that's the TJ Dillashaw Garbrandt, and then you had Connor, was it Alvarez?
That sounds about right.
Yeah, I want to say Connor Alvarez. So, well, is what underrated specifically, Kyle? Speak your mind, you fucking twerp. Bro,
dude, Bilal's worked.
Bro, Tyron had a good ass run, bro. A very underrated championship run, bro. Like, seriously. Why? Is Bilal juiced against Leon or just a real man? No, Bilal was juiced to the fucking gills against Leon. Head got bigger, waist got smaller, veins to the grips, bro. Out of nowhere, he has 5-round cardio. I mean, he's probably been on the juice, in my opinion, probably since the Luque fight. That would be my assumption.
Maybe he just got a tighter diet and watched his nutrients, changed his workout regimen, became a man of God.
Yeah, and Tom Brady lasted in the NFL until he was fucking 42, slinging rocks, just fucking eating spinach and broccoli. Fuck out of here.
That's what guys who are him do, right? These are clean athletes, all right? These are clean athletes.
Jay is gonna beat my ass next time he sees me. Jay is like, nah, this is for Bilal, bitch. Like, it's gonna be.
He's gonna turn up on you with the natural.
I agree. We should honestly, at this point, it should just be an open playing field. If you choose to juice, you choose to juice. You know what you're going into. If you choose, literally, I'm sick of it. I want to see fighters fight more, and I'm sick of them having to leave and cycle off. I'm sick of it.
The only thing about that, though, if everyone is, because if you're smart enough to like get through it,
extraordinary knows, baby.
If you can really cycle through proper and beat it, like, okay, whatever.
Stacked as shit.
But if everyone is taking it, the amount of long-term effects is probably going to be a lot more significant for each person who's taking it, let alone the damage that'll be dealt because of it. So I feel like all in all, that's probably not a good thing for the health of the fighters. But I understand why we would want there to be PEDs legalized, just because the fights would be savage. But also, same time, you got roid rage, people doing shit in their
home. Could you imagine Diego Ferreira versus Gregor Gillespie if they were both on EPO?
Gregory Rodriguez? Wait, who'd you say?
Gregor
Gillespie. Diego Ferreira?
Diego Ferreira versus Gregor Gillespie.
I thought you said Bruno. I'm tripping.
You ever seen that fight, Diego Ferreira versus Gregor Gillespie? It's one of my favorite.
I never even watched.
It's one of my favorite fights that I pull up to people that say, "Watch fun." If you want to watch fun grappling and scrambling, Ferreira versus Gregor Gillespie is fucking amazing. It's like two ferrets getting thrown into a fucking box and just going at it. It's almost as fun as Armand versus Gamrot. Could you imagine that fight on EPO? You got to go rewatch it now, bro. That fight on EPO would have been just the greatest thing of all time.
Yeah, I'm gonna check that out for sure. They get you on what's normal. I don't know, dude. I feel like. Because look at the guys like
kickboxer bodies, bro. Legit, I've watched some kickboxing. Shout out my boy Rush Hour Fight Club, my boy Jay Smooth. Based on him, watch some kickboxing. Juice to the gills, a lot of these motherfuckers. So
Gregor Gillespie, bro. He was supposed to be the one. He was, and I think he got knocked out by Kevin Lee and never fought again. Am I tripping?
Gregor, bro, no. He fought. His next fight was against Diego Ferreira. You need to go watch it, bro. It's a fucking scramble fest from fuck. He was supposed to be the one, bro. Like, he would have been the one for real. He would have been the guy that could have I hate to say it, gave the Armands and the Islams troubles purely based off his cardio and pressure and pace. Go watch that fight when the stream is over, y'all. If y'all haven't seen the Diego Fajeda versus Gregor Lepsy fight,
Hey,
it's fucking insane.
shout
Bro
out
is somewhere
Nabil
out fishing right
Ashrafi
now.
though. Shout out my guy Nabil. Road to 1K subs, dude. We're fucking stoked. We're gonna keep coming with the consistency. We're gonna get on here as much as possible.
I'm gonna look up this Stoyan. All right, I'm gonna here. Let me try to pronounce this. Stoyan Koprivlensky.
Stoyan Koprivlensky.
That sounded fucking great.
Try to do a Russian accent with it. I'm assuming he's Russian based on that name. Maybe not. Give Connor all the juicy ones.
Yeah, this dude has fucking gills, bro. He has traps to his earlobes. He is fucking crazy.
Sounds like he's him.
Give Connor all the juicy wants, let him fight Islam. That boy would still get fucked up by Islam. You're 1,000% right. It doesn't matter. Nothing he can do to stop that, especially at this point. All right, y'all. But with that being said, I have to be up for work in 5 hours. I have to go walk my dog still. And, you know, I'm hungry, so I'm going to fry up some beef lumpia right now, dog. Fucking, the question is, do I walk my dog and then fry up some lumpia, or fry up some lumpia, then walk my dog, dog? Who knows? Shamil Gaziev. Peak fitness, brother, right there.
That's all man right there.
Bro, him and, what's that one fool's name that fought in PFL? Having a mind block. It doesn't matter. But appreciate y'all, man. Thanks for the subs, y'all. We're going to be live for the PFL breakdown. You want to do it? When do you want to do it, Mike?
Yeah, so I was thinking, because if we want to go again Thursday night, we can go back over some spots.
That's right. Isn't that right before because they fight Friday. So let's try to, you want to do it Wednesday?
Yeah, I'm down to do it Wednesday. I'll be good to go around 8 p.m. your time.
Bet. So y'all, we're going to be live around the same time. If you guys want to join back in, we appreciate y'all, man. Fucking, you guys are the shit, man. Much love to y'all.
Is that me? I'll be back. I like y'all. Let the dude on the left talk more. He's smart. Don't look it, but he is.
Yeah. Sorry, man. I have a problem. I just like to talk. I can't help it. I'll let my boy talk a little bit more. So.
Hey, we be going in though. We be going back and forth. This is my homie right here. And yeah, so Wednesday, because I want to go live again for Thursday to do some, because the props will be dropped by then, Thursday night after the game for UFC. And I would like to talk about some of those, but I'm down to do a PFL breakdown Wednesday. We go live, chop it up, answer questions, whatever it is that calls us. So I'm down to do that Wednesday night, baby.
Oh yeah. Well, y'all, I'm Nick. That's Mike. We appreciate you guys, man. So
shout out Bitsy. Shout out everyone in the chat. Y'all are fucking awesome.
Much love, y'all. Later, guys.